Good morning. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. Good morning. I am so grateful for so many things and so excited to check in with you and hear what you are grateful for. It's Love Morning. I am John Halcyon. This is my new place in San Diego, California. A few boxes still need to be emptied, but the cable guy just left and I now have broadband. So I'm a little late. Normally we'd be trying to start at 9 o'clock, but was with the cable guy. He was great. Thank you, Waleed. And good morning, Gerbot. And since I've got some internet, I get to sing with you. I don't have to worry about bandwidth. All those problems are through. I get to share the grateful things that flow all through days. And if you've got some gratitude, I want to hear the ways that you're happy. And if you're sad, I want to hear the ways that we can make you glad. Welcome to Love Morning. Here's another song. If you're still with me, it's going a little bit long. It's Love Morning, Love Morning, Love Morning, Love Morning. Yeah. Good morning. Yes, the tradition is to make up a song, so sometimes they go like that. I am finding I do not like this little lit heart behind me. I thought I was trying to figure out, I'm unpacking things. I'm like, what should I do with this? But it's a pink, but it doesn't show up pink on camera. It just shows up white, so I'm going to turn it off. Forget it. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Hope, and good morning, Sarah. Hello to you in Wyoming. Gerbot is grateful for self-care days. Yay. I'm grateful for, if I told you, well, I'm not gonna hiccups. This internet has been a real challenge here. I spent so much time trying to communicate with bots or inept people online. I'm like, please let me call somebody. Over and over, I'm saying, look, the wires have all been cut. There's only one coax outlet, and it's not connected. I need someone to help me install that. They're like, well, just tighten the screw very tight. I'm like, please send a technician. And it took me like an hour. And even then, the outlet is below me on the floor below, and I wasn't sure how well that's going to work. And so there's Wi-Fi is below me, and I'm getting really good internet from the floor above. So yay! It's a huge relief to me. I am grateful for my Aunt Anne, who passed recently, and I'm going to her memorial today. And I'm also grateful for the Transformations charity that my friends have created. I'm going to a fundraising gala tonight with Lisa. And then I think we're going to stay, it's like an hour drive. So I think we're going to get a hotel up there because tomorrow we go to Santa Barbara for another memorial for Dawn. A lot of memorials this weekend. Good morning, Jason. Good morning. I'm feeling like it's quite echoey in this room. May have to figure out how that sounds. But anyone else want to share something that they're feeling grateful for? I am grateful. I had a visit from my friend Dimitri yesterday, and he got to see the new place, and we've got like this cool sunbed outside downstairs, and so hung out on the sunbed and overlooked the canyon with a dear friend and caught up with him, talked about the election and the future and our families. And it was just so lovely to have a deep drop in with someone I love so much. Good morning, Yamil. Yamil says, I am grateful for yoga practice and starting to facilitate free sessions in January at a public library. Yoga sessions? I love it. I am so immensely grateful to Lisa. This move has really been wonderful for our relationship. She is so impressive, and it's been fun to see how great her design sense and her interior decorating and her just problem solving is. A year ago, she moved in with me, and so she had to kind of take on my furniture, my stuff, my look, and adjusted a little bit. And there was an office that she had that she got to decorate how she liked, and she painted. She did a lot of nice things, but still, it was kind of adjusting my thing. And so now, as we're coming in together and seeing, how her stuff and my stuff melds and getting stuff together, and how much our styles, I think, really work well together. It's super. It's great, and it's been fun practicing this kind of integration and cohabitation and problem solving things together. And so we had a washer and dryer was installed yesterday. The landlords agreed to put a washer and dryer in, and so they install it, and I'm like, the door is off the hinges. I'm like, it's not going to close. So they kind of push it back in, and we realized it still probably needs to be moved, but it's too heavy. And then last night I noticed something. I went to Lisa, and I'm like, I don't want to. We got so much going on, and there's so much stuff, and I'm like, I want to share something that could possibly be upsetting, but I'm going to suggest that we think of it as funny. How about that? Are you ready? She starts laughing already, and I go, we can't turn off the light in the little thing place where the laundry machine is. You cannot access the light switch because of how big the laundry machines are, because it's a stacked one, and you can't get. And I tried to slip a ruler in and use the light switch and turn it off, and I couldn't do. So the light is on indefinitely until we get some help. And she started laughing. But I am practicing something where I am trying to notice when something bad will happen or something that's frustrating me, and I have an instinct to just share it with Lisa, because it kind of makes it's like, I don't know. I want to. I don't really have a thought out why, but it's like when my car was hit, I was like, I want to call and go, someone hit my car, but I'm trying to think is there a need to say this right now, and will this disrupt the energy that she is in right now, and maybe I should tell her later, If she's got a bunch on her plate and there's no reason, I don't want her to add to her oh no, are you okay? Is everything, Eventually I do want to hear that. Or with the door thing, as soon as I noticed, I was like, oh no. My first thought was, Lisa, look what they did. And I'm like, but I'm feeling this kind of, do I want to add that to her? I don't think so. So I was able to think it through, try a bunch of things, try a bunch of devices and sticks and stuff. Maybe I can find another stick to use. And then finally present it to her in a way that she was able to laugh about. Good morning, Victoria. Hope says, that's so emotionally intelligent. Now, I want to brag a little bit. I have been feeling pretty emotionally intelligent lately. I've been feeling aware of my thoughts and actions more than I remember doing in the past. Where so during the move, I used the Hugmobile, my RV, to move all the plants. And at one point, I'm driving the Hugmobile from the new location back to the old place to load it back up, and my car dies as I'm going from one freeway to another. And so I end up pulling over on the side. There's not much of a shoulder there. And it's just oh my gosh, this is... When a motorhome breaks down, there's a lot of things that make it difficult. Not every tow truck can deal with you. Not every, mechanic can deal with you. You're already taking up a bunch of space, and it's a lot. And so I'm in the middle of this moving and timing and everything. And Lisa's like, I'm going to come to you. I'm like, you know what? You got to go meet the realtor. I will figure this out. And so I'm on the side of the road, and I take off the way that the Hugmobile is, you access the engine from inside the car. You take off this big plate thing. It's huge. You take it off, and then you can look down onto the engine. Like normally you pop up a hood, but it's like I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and you can look down and see the engine. So I pop it off, and I try to see if I can figure out why it's not getting gas. And so I turn it over, and it starts right back up. And I'm like, okay, I should just try to drive. So I pull into traffic, find a gap. I'm going, I still have the plate off. So it's hot, exhausty air is just like blasting me. And it's a sunny day, it's hot. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I pull into traffic, and there's an accident. And for me to get where I want to go, I have to be in the middle lane. So now I'm in the middle lane in stop and go traffic in a RV that just broke down and could again at any moment. And I'm like, okay, this is stressful. Like if I break down now, I won't be able to pull over to the side of the road. I'm gonna block traffic until a tow truck can come, and usually that takes hours for an RV. And so I'm like, there's hot exhaust blowing on me, and I was like, and I kind of went, okay, if that happened, it would be difficult. I can imagine myself in the middle of the road on my phone trying to explain things to AAA while I'm waving people around me, and people are going to be pissed at me, but I could do it. And I was like, and I kept going tense. I'm like, I can do it. If it happens, I can do it. If it happens, it's going to be okay. It's going to suck, but it's going to be okay. And so the 4-minute drive that turned into a 15-minute drive, I got through the traffic jam. The Hugmobile was fine. But I was noticing, I'm like, look at this. Look at me. I'm like I'm dysregulated, and I'm just keep pulling it back down. So, yay for emotionally intelligent. Who else has got something that they're feeling grateful for? I would love to hear it. I am grateful for our new bed. We got a bed with a cool headboard and a side table and new mattress, or not new to us. And Lisa loves the mattress. She's sleeping great. And we've gone through 4 mattresses in the last year, just kind of like, because all the mattress places, you can use them for a few months and see how you like it. And none of them have worked. And so this one that was just kind of like, we bought the headboard and go, you can have the mattress too. Like, okay. And it's great. So grateful for good sleep for my beloved. Thank you. I realize I've probably done this before. Thank you, Asdia. I think I've mispronounced her name many times in the past. My apologies once again. I am grateful for the help I got yesterday in identifying some plants. For a minute, I was so excited because I thought there's a tree that looks like an aspen tree, and aspens are my favorite. Now, they don't really grow around here, so I don't know why I was believing that. It's a type of eucalyptus that looks like an aspen. So I'm grateful for the help I got online for that. I'm grateful that all my plants made it here with minimal damage. I'm grateful for Lisa's yummy cooking. I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for my friend Ray Doctor, who's a coach I was going to say a men's coach, but he coaches men and women in relationships, and I've known him for a very long time. We have a lot of parallels in our life. Like when he was younger, he was in a like a '80s novelty band, and is very much a performer, and used to be a model. And so like we were both kind of comfortable with taking pictures of ourselves, and also into self-growth for many years. And he posted yesterday his reasons for voting for Trump. And it was so helpful for me because all of his reasons, whether I agreed with them or not, were rational and were coming from, I mean, I know him to be a compassionate, loving person who has dedicated his life to helping people kind of be healthier. And so to see, like, I had this vague sense of like, they are all bad, you know, like the media says they're all racist and they, you know, and misogynist and, you know, and to see him explain his choice and know the kind of person he is, I was like, oh man, that is so helpful to just understand that there's all sorts of ways that we can be in disagreement, all sorts of pathways to our choices that may have nothing to do with our assumptions of other people. So it was really helpful for me. And so I'm grateful for him for being public about it. I think he said he got 50 friends unfriend him yesterday after he said that. And I just admire his courage in doing his part to create more unity. You know, he didn't attack anyone. He just tried to say, hey, I think that you should understand me better, and I think we all should try to understand each other better. So super grateful for Ray. Althea is grateful for music. Any specific type of music or just in general? Because I agree. I can't believe, like, think about the access we have to music compared to 100 years ago. Incredible. Jason, I was talking about Ray Doctor. And good morning, Jason. Thalia, good morning. Thalia is grateful for my ability to weave such good stories with lessons. Glad the Hugmobile made it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Victoria is grateful for having vivid dreams. That reminds me, I had a dream last night that I was in my car. Someone else was driving, although there was on the European side of the, and they were intoxicated. And I'm like, stop it, don't drive, stop it. And I ended up getting so upset and so determined to stop them from driving my car up intoxicated that I grabbed them by the nape of their hair and slammed their head into the steering wheel. And as I did that, I woke myself up and I was like, kind of made me, I was like, whoa, I was violent in my dream. Esta, good morning. Esta is grateful for artists of all kinds, which includes all of us, right? Ruth, good morning. Ruth says, hey, from sunny Alberta. Grateful for a long weekend. It is Remembrance Day on Monday, where we reflect on war and all the people have sacrificed. All people that sacrificed for our freedom today. Thank you, Ruth, and good morning. You know what? I think I will share Ray's post. That's a good idea, Esta. But I would ask, not that anyone here would do it, but I don't want to tee him up and have people attack him. You know, I think people are very raw and wounded, and one of the biggest disappointments of this last election cycle is how much we name called and attacked instead of dialogued. I mean, I think that's always the case, but it feels like we're so trained to it because of the incentives of algorithms. We are being taught how to stir people up and make people angry and use words like sheeple and rather than say, I am having a difficult time seeing this how you're seeing this. Can you help me understand? So I would like to share it too. If I forget to share it, feel free to send me a note and I will get you his address or the link. Good morning, Chris. Grateful to see me in my new space. Thank you. I'm very happy here. I got to figure out, I really want to make a cool set behind me. I mean, plants are probably about as cool as I get, but all music, Althea clarified. Victoria says, I'm blocking anyone that voted for that agenda. No bandwidth at all. Well, I respect your decision. That's not the path that I am going to take or encourage. But certainly not going to fault you for doing what you got to do to take care of yourself. Ruth says, on a lighter note, grateful for 3 weeks not smoking dope. High five. You've inspired me to check my no alcohol calendar. So no alcohol, ketamine, or GHB or cannabis for 627 days. Good morning, Charlie Girl. Charlie Girl says, my background is very calming. I think what does it is this leaf. Oh, how beautiful is that split leaf philodendron right back by my head. I used to have fantasies of getting a massive back tattoo like that. I mean, fantasies is probably the wrong word. Maybe I could get another one on this side. Oh, I could. Would anyone else like to share some gratitude before we head off into our day? I started late today because the cable guy is here. So if you missed that, I am so grateful to have broadband and grateful for all the time he took and gave me some guidance. I have a mesh network that I'm going to set up, but he recommended this Google 6E one will really make it great. My modem is a floor below me, and I'm still getting pretty rad speeds. So I'm pretty happy. Let's see. Let's run it again. Who else has got some gratitude? And then we'll have a hug. I am grateful that I've been talking with my cousin Tracy, and I'm going to see her in January. She's awesome. Grateful for my mom and dad. Grateful for the conversations that I had with my dad after the election. My dad is, he was a judge and very informed, very well read, and like he has a clear perspective. He's Democrat, pretty consistently, but he's open-minded, and I love hearing his perspectives on the way he what frustrates him, what he understands. I mean, he understands everything, but like what he goes, I could see why you would do that. All right, so I've got a 219 download through the floor. So that's without any mesh or networks. That's great. Good morning, Julie. Happy Saturday. Thank you for joining me today. All right, last chance. Anyone want to share any gratitude? I am, as I said, grateful for the memories of my Aunt Anne, who I'm going to go to a memorial for her this afternoon, and see my cousin and my uncle. And grateful for the time spent with family. Hey, Dustin. Dustin says, grateful that I'm still above ground. A couple of months ago, my life fell apart in an unexpected way. Through friends and family, I found a way to push through. Went to Burning Man with my son and bonded, then have changed counseling. Whew, I'm glad you're above ground too. And so you've been to Burning Man before? This is your first time with your son? Or that just sounds, I went with Burning Man with my mom 11 years ago, and it was one of the highlights of my life. At some point, Dustin, I am going to talk through the experience that we had a private conversation about recently. Because it was really, well, I'll without any details, I'll say, because it goes to what I was saying earlier about having emotional intelligence and control. Like, a situation happened and I got riled up about it. And I spent time writing out a public post to explain myself and kind of call someone out while accepting responsibility. I had my partner read it and kind of soften it and help me edit it. And I posted it. And then I found myself every few minutes going back to see if there was a response. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm energetically tying myself to this experience and headspace that is not enjoyable. It's thrilling in that kind of like getting in a fight feeling, but I don't want to be checking to see if I can keep fighting with this person. So I took it down, and then Dustin asked the person, like, "Oh, did you delete that post that Halcyon made explaining himself?" And they said no, and I never got an apology and everything. And I almost did it again, like, okay, well, there, and I was like, no. I don't want to keep walking down this path, so I won't. Oh, Virgin Dustin, thanks. And I hope that sharing it, you as part of that story, was okay. I don't think there's any details that were too relevant. Charlie Girl is grateful for a few hours of sun before it rains in the Pacific Northwest. Grateful for wise therapists, especially this week. Grateful for long weekends and our vets. Man, wise therapists. I mean, therapy in general, just having a place that you can talk and work through your thoughts and have someone ask questions that get you to places is so helpful. But when you have a therapist that shows you something that you can't see, or points out a pattern, or teaches you a fundamental aspect of human development that is affecting you, and you just like are like, oh my gosh, this is like a thing that I'm doing and everybody does it, or everyone that goes through this trauma does this, like, oh my gosh. Yeah, a talented, skilled therapist is amazing, life-changing. Corey says, I'm grateful for the time change, except I thought that I was watching the show late and I haven't said hello, so good morning. I started late today, so we're all good. Julie says, I'm grateful for waking up today with less pain and more love. Less pain, more love. Yes. Good morning, Kiri. Kiri says, I am grateful for my anger today. The type of anger that propels me to stand up for myself and my boundaries. I know my worth and I'm not about to stoop for anyone. You know, my therapist, Misty, who I just think is amazing, she did a workshop, a multi-day workshop with the guy who wrote The Body Knows the Score. And they were doing this intense emotional work, and you could hear people in the next room over, like a wedding or something that was happening, or some workshop. And he went over, and they could he calmly went over. I won't tell the story that great, but then he said, like, yelled, like, this is unacceptable. You have to stop this immediately. Like what we're doing over here is important work. And then he walked back calmly. And it was like this demonstration of anger as a tool in our repertoire. It is not bad to be angry. It is an effective, important part of a complete and healthy human. You just don't want to be ruled by it. You don't want to have no control over it. And it was something that story really like made me think a lot about how often I'm afraid to be angry, or I think being angry is weak or wrong, or it is a sign of being unevolved, and that's not true. Angela says, therapists and sponsors. Woo, yay, therapists and sponsors. And really, like, I think that this was pointed out to me recently that it's good to have friends that you can talk to, but the role of a therapist or a coach, I would guess as a sponsor too. I don't have one, but it's not the same as a friend. It's someone that you can be mad at those people. They can say something and you can project onto them, and you don't have an investment in trying to maintain your friendship. There's a very different therapeutic relationship when it's professional rather than a friend that's helping you out or listening. Vesper, good morning. Vesper says, I'm grateful for my immune system today, working hard to combat COVID. Oh, Vesper, I've been thinking about you a lot because in my Facebook memories, your entry into the Halcyon costume contest came up. And it is so fucking good. Not only did you dress up in striped pants and have a pink wig, she did like a sunset dance party dance, and she kind of like did my dance moves with a shirt off from back. So it was, there's no scandalous nipples, although I kept hoping that she would turn around. Hope you don't take that the wrong way. But so I've been thinking about you with this big grin and appreciation for you. So I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. Sending your immune system and your heart and your spirit lots of strength and love. Good morning, Angela. Angela is grateful for a supportive partner that helps me motivate to take care of adulty tasks with positivity. Yay for partnership. I have been really experiencing that kind of partnership support during this move. It's been, and we are as good as we've ever been in this place of solving and building this life together right now. It's really, I'm trying to just squeeze and be really present to how wonderful it is. Good morning, Zoe. Zoe says, grateful for my new home in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Well, congrats on your move. I moved too. Still in San Diego, but it's a significant move and feeling very, very happy here. Corey says, they always seem to tell you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear. That is such a valuable thing. And that isn't to say that friends can't do that. I'm not great at that. Unless somebody specifically asks me, like, could you critique this idea? Or honestly, do you think this is a good idea? Like I'm usually like, I don't know what's best for anyone, so I support people in their decisions. But I have some friends that are much better at saying like, hey, this thing happened and I'm not sure if you're aware of how this came across, or it felt to me that you did this. And I was like, oh, wow, thank you for saying something. So I'm trying to be better at that. I get to practice recently with someone where it was a edge for me to kind of engage without just placating. Friend Zan just wrote this newsletter, and it was like my younger years, I was trying to create harmony all the time. That's to me, problem solving was creating harmony which goes back to our anger conversation. But as I grow, I realize that sometimes problem solving involves standing ground, fighting, pushing through ideas, breaking things. Sometimes problem solving is not about placating. Gerbot says, grateful for my psychologist and psychotherapist, and the 24 years of support from her. 24 years! What a relationship. Amazing. I just had my last meeting with her this week as she is retiring after 45 years of service. Wow! That is... Congrats to you both. I imagine that is got to be a pretty significant life milestone for you both. Well, clearly you've done good work with her because you're awesome. So thank her for me. And with that, wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big old squeeze and really do it wherever you are. Hold yourself. Feel your arms holding your body and imagine that they are my arms holding you, and you are in this big group hug of all the people that have showed up here in this moment or might watch this recording, showing up from a place of open-heartedness, recognizing that there's so many people like us, so many love ambassadors, and that we have the opportunity to continually reflect back on our blessings, continually remember all we have to be grateful for, and then to be in that vibration and share it and spread it, and not be toxically positive and anytime someone's complaining say, well, what about this? You should be happy. But just being in a place where we can hold space for suffering and also remember our blessings. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us here, thanks for being here for this Love Ambassador morning. I love you. Happy Saturday. I may be on the road tomorrow going to Santa Barbara, so uncertain. And thanks for your patience being late today. But otherwise, try to be here every day at 9 o'clock. Or I try to be here every day at 9 o'clock. And I love it when we get to share together. So thank you. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Charlie Girl. Good morning, Luann. Thank you, Gerbot and Corey and Zoe and Kiri and anyone else who still might be here. Enjoy your Saturday.